Hello there, let's start looking through the Green Tide campaign, and of course you get the Greenskins. So if you've already seen my unit overview video of new units available for the Greenskins and the Dwarves, let's move on to the campaign bit now. So this is right at the start, obviously turn 1, and we can just go through all the basics of how this works in SFO. So first of all, the Green Tide has changed. So I'm going to leave this up on the screen so you can have a quick read. Basically, you have to leave it over there. Oh, there you go. The Green Tide, when you spawn armies and spawn things, have different functions in SFO. So if you look at this at the moment, every time you win so much of thing, you sack so many settlements, you trigger a DMer. And this DMer, it takes on various forms. A lot of different benefits, so like recruiting more armies, it's cheaper. You get better, more campaign buffs, you get more buffs for sacking, for the usual things, the usual orky things to say the least. And as you can see, it triggers the same DMer as many times as you are able to. So sorting 10 sets of captives after the battle, etc, etc. Reaching level 15 with a character and stuff like that. So when you've hit these, you get to the next tier, and so forth and so forth. And that is throughout the campaign, and that's overall for the entire faction. So if I go on to what we are at the moment, so you start at level 1, and as you see, because you're not well known, and you're considered scattered tribes, you haven't got many buffs. You got debuffs actually. Debuff activations minus 80 with Greenskins. Fineness, construction cost expensive. Growth, etc, etc, or negative and a bit of obedience at the moment. So as you go through the campaign, you get that goes up gradually depending how fast you expand and things like that. So that's the Green Tide, and that's how it's changed in SFO. Quick short talk about the cash. Unlike the vanilla experience, on the whole, cash is not really the thing for the Greenskins. It shouldn't be really, because they don't really deal with it. We don't know what it is. They don't really care. All they want to do is get some fighting done. And so it's not much of a problem with Greenskins on the whole. You can run a couple of armies from the off pretty cheaply, as I'll show you later in my own campaign. So you have a Grimgar. So I just run up Grimgar because he's awesome. And in SFO, he's actually awesome. He is very, very, very tough. Let's just get his character screen up. There we go. And he's got better than vanilla. Not too difficult, but hopefully CA are working on this at this very moment at the time of recording. And he's going to be much more what Grimgar should be, if you've ever read the lore about him, which is pretty awesome. So there's Grimgar. So I'll just take you very quickly through this skill tree. It's nothing special. It's been added to quite significantly. But it's all about combating him. It's more combat buffs. Niche things. Just overall improvements. Just to make it a bit more interesting. Like the vanilla experience, which is just rubbish. Let's be honest. And it was rubbish from the start. So, thankfully Grimgar's got a bit of love here. And now we can move on to the actual builder browser. So things have changed a bit towards the end, as you can see there. So let's do the first stuff first. What is interesting is growth. So as usual, you can get growth as you go along, and you got population surplus, all the usual things to expand to the Black Flag Greenskins stronghold as normal. But this is also used exactly like you would in a raiding or in an army camp. The name escapes me for the moment. It'll come back to me. And you need that as well. Instead of not just expanding, you need that to build the buildings. It's a bit more interesting, because the actual cost of most of these buildings, not that much really. Like the basic one's only about 600 for that one, 1,200 for a bit more higher tier, and they're all pretty cheap. They don't cost much to build, and as I said before, it's not really a big thing for them. Units, on the whole, pretty cheap. I think goblins are, on the whole, reasonably cheap. But that is remembering that when Green Tide gets to stupid high levels, your units get a lot cheaper. And there's the Demortals, by the way. So you need this to build it. BigfooT, which is very expensive for Greenskin. And they only serve Grimgor. So Grimgor can have these in his army, just so you know. So there's all the unit buildings. So they're pretty much the same as before. There's your Savage Giant. There's the Cross of Squig. Shamans. There's a Blackhawk Big Boss. And Blackhawk Shield. So, yeah, pretty much similar. Because if you remember the unit video, there wasn't that many new units to talk about. There's a few, like Forest Goblins. Forest Goblins are here, yeah, on the bottom tier. But other than that, pretty much the same thing. Over here, though, there's a few more things to talk about. We've got Humi Pens, Slot Shrooms, Idols, and Power of Shiny stuff. So, all this is just building up your growth and income, growth, more growth, and obedience. Growth is the thing for Greenskins. The more growth you get, the more you expand your unit, your buildings. So you need a lot of growth. And this can get to stupidly high levels very quickly and very early on. So just be aware of that. And then we've got the last few ones. There's reading stashes. A bit more income. Like I said, cash is not a massive thing, but it is there. You do need it. And you got the Orc Tower, or the Tower. So this is just gradually increasing faction wide for raiding and things like that. Now, if memory serves, you can have as many of these as you want. This is all research rate. But you just, obviously, much like the Beastmen things in the army and the camp, those type of camps, every time you create one of these, you have to add a bit more to each one as you go along. But I can show you that better in my more complete view of my current campaign, which I am actually doing with Skarsnik. And it asks me, so we've got the Savage Warg for Shrine to the Gork and Mork. This is upkeep for Savage Orcs and Trolls. Got campaign movement. Upkeep, again, reductions. And there's research rate. So, quite a lot to go into there. So we go back to the main screen. If I click back on Grimgor here, and we've got a couple more stances to talk about. So this is the basic raiding camp stance now. So if you go into an enemy zone, I can nip into what's the unit of it? Yeah, 25%. I don't know, I'm going to do that, am I? Right, let's just talk about it then. So, what I have noticed in my campaigns with SFO, this is a bit more tricky to keep going because it's affected by more things. And as an example, when you go to a fight, if you win, great. If you take out your losses, not so great. And you have to carefully balance it out, which I usually tend to find that it's actually more beneficial to do much more of your own battles instead of auto-resolving as many, because you usually sit more careful with your units. So let's go back to this stance reading camp. So you go to that and you get your reading stance, and you get your cash, and you get plus fightiness, etc, etc. So you get good bonuses every time you use this, and I use it more than I probably with any other faction, I think. Possibly with the exception of Beastmen, and of course Chaos. But it's a great way to keep the money flowing in, great way to expand. Just as you go into the new territory, you pass it down, create a bit of cash, and then you keep going up and up and up, and then you quickly build more armies. So of course there's the stance underway, and there's a new one, Warg Begins. So this is when you want to get your growth to ridiculously high levels. So you can actually have a couple of these armies, just in this stance, pumping out growth. So 50 plus another 50, 100. When you get to really big campaigns, towards the middle part of the campaign, you have a lot of this growth going on, and that's exactly what you want. Ambush, same as before, and then a quick march, or stance march, exactly the same before. I don't think I've ever mentioned this video actually, thinking about it, but when you put your army, like the army's 1,637 at the moment, if you put them into a building like this they are actually cheaper to run. So if you're finding out that some of your armies are doing this, and you're moving them about quite a lot, if you move them into a settlement of your own, you can get more cash back much quicker and they're a bit cheaper to run. Just a quick note, and that's across pretty much every single faction. Of course, the Greenskins not much of an issue, but for dwarves, which I'll come to at some point, it's a big issue. Right, so that's pretty much the basics of the Greenskin campaign in SFO, and let's move on to the tech tree. So here we are at the tech tree, and as you can see, Goblin Workshop. So this has been expanded on quite aggressively, as SFO does, and Renris and his team do like a nice tech tree. And you don't really get anything for quite a while. Much like the actual original tech tree, where you have to build buildings, and pretty much every single thing is locked behind a building. So just to get off, you need the Goblin Tinkering Bench, which is pretty much the first couple of things you build. I think it's about the level 3, I think you start building it. And you need that to unlock this. So all these are basic buffs to your units, pretty much. I usually get your Night Goblin Squig Hoppers, if I can say it properly. Some more buffs for various units, which is the Big Eva. That increases your green tide level. And then you need a Tinker Workbench, so that's the next level up. And then you need that to get to the Rock Spider and Spider Worship. Just various things to unlock these various places. So a quick look in here. So you got Chariot bonuses, just more high tier stuff now. A bit more income. Melee defense, weapon strength, and so that's all vehicle stuff there. Then we have Spider Hatchery. So a bit more those are spider things. Then you got here the Goblin Doom Divers. So you got range. You got stuff to increase your range of all your artillery. Much so as it is, the Ivory Tree. Some damage for the Night Goblin Fanatics. I do that with my Night Goblin Fanatics. Beast Armor there. So that's all that section. And then we got here Savage. Requires trying to Gork and Mork, which is right at the top of one of the new tiers. So that increases speed, mushroom, strong vigor, extra melee attack, and charge bonus, which is massive. Plus 50% is massive because Savage Orcs hit very hard on the charge. So that's pretty impressive. Over this side, so that's all the Goblin group. So what do you need for this? You need the Orky Forts. Orcs are the best. Increase your green tide level, which is a feature of some of these things. Big one harder. Charge defense for the yard. That's quite nice. Entry War Boss, War Paint, and Black Orc trainees. So that's all your Black Orc stuff. And finally, down here we've got got two more sections. Goblin Metropolis. Increase green tide level, and you got the enables ability Squig School Boom for Goblin Big Bosses. To make it just ability to explode goblins pretty much. Psychology immunity, which is really good. Blue mushrooms, red mushrooms, white mushrooms, all the mushrooms. And finally, Armed the Boss, so Uber Mega Tower. Increase your green tide level again. And then you got all these various things to go into. Some of them are alright, some of them are not too bad. But they sort of scale up as they go along. Growth is really good. That's really good. So that's obviously when you're trying to confederate with people. Your recruit rank, always nice. Especially in SFO, if you remember, or if you are not aware, that first 5 ranks is 2 abilities per rank. So that's really going to set you up quite nicely from the start. Fungal Brew. More shiny things. That's massive. 75% in that. That's 100% increase to raiding. Eyes on the prize. But this is quite a heavy duty building. It's quite right at the top tier these are. So there is a quick look at the tech tree for the Greenskins. something else to talk about now. When you capture a settlement, like I've just done a quick run through here, you get the usual options: occupy, you can occupy and sack. But you also have raise for meat. As I said before, that you need growth a lot in this game, or in Greenskins, and this gives you massive constant replenishment rate and a growth plus 50 faction wide. So this is all this does, is just raises it completely. And so much like raise, but you don't get the cash. In this case, not much, but you do get a minus upkeep and a bit more obedience or provinces. But you got constant replenishment rate and fiction and growth plus 50% faction wide. So really powerful. But in this case, I'm going to just occupy. No, we're going to use an occupy. And there you are. Sorted. So, this is a little thing that Reynolds and his team have put in. So when you capture a province, like I just have, so I've captured the first 3 right next to me at the start of the campaign. Just quickly ran through it. And you get these options. So we got global recruitment plus 2. So set up camp. And this lasts for 15 turns, so you got easier to get your recruitment going and quicker. Then you got recruitment cost. So if you already got your armies ready, you just need to pump out all your units. This is where you have to do that, and that's for 15 turns. Recruitment duration -2 for all units. There's not many units really that cost a lot in the Greenskins. There's a couple, but this basically resets them all to nothing. Black Hawks I know are quite expensive. They'll take a bit of time, so that's quite good for that. And effigy or Gork. So income extortion rate plus 10%, annotated plus 2. So just various things depending on where you are. Like in this case, I might want to set up camp because I'm right at the start. I'm just going to build another army. Or if we're going to move on quickly, we want to keep going, you just choose which one is particular to you. So let's just set up camp here. And there we go. So now I have all the provinces. Here we go. My green tide is increased. So now I'm on level 2. So I'm at Civil War now. This means that my green skin rations is dropping because I'm getting more popular. I'm getting people who know about me. Campaign movement is no buffs, no buffs of fightiness. Short cost is coming down, the growth is coming down. So it keeps ebbing and flowing. It doesn't go down. Green tide ever doesn't really go down very often, as far as I remember. But I can tell you a bit more about that in my campaign. So there you go. And just as you're aware, there's only a few options for when you have a province. Criminal rank plus 1 and growth. Or as I said, growth is the thing. Income from sacking settlements, faction wide, or campaign movement. Obviously, there's no trade bonuses because you're Greenskins, you don't trade. You never need to trade, you just kill things pretty much. So let's go to my campaign now. So here we are on my campaign, and just for a quick side note, I am using my own group of workshop mods, and I'll leave a link to the video on how I explain how I've done this, and you can run it for yourself if you want. But safe to say, this has got all the mixed use stuff. This has got Regiments of Renown Compilation, which I believe some Greenskins units are in. I think I have anyway. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, that's more than the usual. What else have we got? And just a few legal cameras, fixes, movers, battle banners, and things like that. Just little things which I like. Anyway, I'll check that out if you want to. But let's get to my campaign. So, I'm going to put all this in the green skin one, and I'm going to do a separate video with the dwarf one because these are quite empty now. I've got to the end of my look at the greenskins. So I decided to start off with the hardest of all of our campaigns, pretty much across any faction you can think of, and that's of course Skarsnik here. There he is. Here's your army. So he starts off here. So what have I done? Well, it's taken me 59 turns just to get this far. So yeah, it's been a bit of a hassle to say the least. Like these dwarves took a long time to get rid of. I don't know why it took so long. but because you are running a pretty much all goblin outfit, which is cool, but a tad hard. And in past playthroughs, I think I've played this campaign a few times because I quite like this campaign because it is a challenge. I think one, I definitely just went, right, I'm going down to Cavalcade Peaks. I had enough of this, I need to get to control, I need Cavalcade Peaks. So this one I decided to make a base here and go from here and have a goblin run army. And it's not easy, it really isn't. But, so like I said, I started here, and I think you start off, if memory serves, as a level 3 settlement anyway, so that's pretty good. And then I slowly took Carolingia, which as you see now tier 4, and I've made a couple of changes here and there, building up. I'm just about to get the Doom Diver catapult, so I'm trying to expand that tack tree, which I'll jump to in a minute to show you where I can get onto there. I'll go for my armies in a minute. Then we move down here. Got Grimhold. Can't remember what turn this was, but it feels like, yeah, we're on turn 59 now, and it hasn't been smooth sailing to say the least. But on the whole, it's Vicinians has been my pain in the rear end, and they've only just 10 turns ish. Empire, well, Riky have just merged with them, confederated even. So now I've got these to worry about. Anyway, I'll come back to that in a minute. So here we are with Grimhold. So I've got a reasonable section of buildings. I've got garrisons in each one, if memory serves. Because, yeah, and that one's got garrison, hasn't it? Yeah, that one is quite strong already. So that's the basic garrisons. So they're pretty strong. So I can actually leave these places to fend for themselves on the whole. I think I'm in a non-aggression pact with the Wood Elves, if memory serves. Yes, non-aggression pact with Wood Elves, which is good, because Wood Elves are horrible to deal with in SFO. They're really good. I do love my Wood Elves. So I want to keep them on my good side as long as possible. In the meantime though, dwarves hate me, because dwarves. And also Soriand, or the Golden Order. I think it's the Golden Order, isn't it? Can I see that? Yes, the Golden Order. They not exactly my biggest fans either. But so I decided to branch out a bit, and I've been fighting Vicinian on and off. They've sent an army or two around. I defeated it pretty easily, nothing major. So I thought, right then, let's push into Vicinian and start annoying them instead. So I took here. This is actually quite recently, and just so I can start, I have a small base here and then push out using my two armies. And then they decided to merge. Now I've got Karl Franz. I've just defeated an army by Karl Franz actually. I think he's around here somewhere. I think he's going to come over in a minute and have another go. What's that Karl Franz? There he is. Damn pain in my rear end. They haven't got any. He hasn't got a sense of humour. Yeah, he hasn't. What's that one? Huh? Gold Wizard. Cool. Anyway. So I'm constantly dealing with attacks. I think I took this about 5 or 6 turns, and I think I've been attacked every single time. And I'm jumping back and forth with my armies to get the replenishment up quicker. This army's pretty strong now. I've just added an Orc Shaman. As you can see, my units are ridiculously cheap. As in redonkulously cheap. There's only 1,149. And Skarsnik's army's not that bad either. But these units are pretty tough for goblins anyway. Not brilliant, but they're pretty good. And I'm using a fast cav type. What's the word? Vanguard deployment for all my units. For a simple reason is I love these things. Wolf Riders are so good. They're so fast. At 95, they can chase down pretty much anything in the game. They got a good charge bonus. And they got a poison on the melee attack, which is really handy, so they can get out quite quick. So it's just constant charging back and forth. So I supplemented that with some Squig Hoppers. So I'll show my tech tree in a minute. So I haven't got tech tree for riding him yet. I don't think anyway. But as you see, that charge bonus is ridiculous. 100, 88. And as you see, some of these charge bonuses are pretty decent. Like Nasty Skulkers, they're quite recent addition. So oh no, I quite like this army. I think it's quite balanced. I got these in my front line. Got some night goblins to secure it. And so I usually have that and that between there. And then I got some forest night goblin archers. And these pressuring the flanks to stop them. And of course, can't go over a goblin muck cover. They're just brilliant things. And as these playing Skarsnik campaign, at the start, you have a Ragnarok spider, which is perfect. As you can see, I think I'm on Green Time 4. Am I on? These are bonuses. Not sure Green Tide you have them on alone. Oh, there we are, 5, right at the top. So that's the comparison. So I've got more growth, I got more construction cost is cheaper, campaign movements more, diplomatic relations with the Greenskins. All nice. Income from a stack in seconds is plus 40%, which is massive. You get a lot of cash. As you see, I'm not struggling at all at the moment. And if I quickly go to Carolingia. Actually, I did say in my thing these increase in level. They don't. My bad. Don't know why I said it. So, I haven't done that much. I've been trying to get all the buildings I need to create the units I want. But we're getting there. We're certainly getting there. So I built my second army very early on, to be honest. Because goblins are so cheap to run, it's pretty easy to get 2 stacks quite quickly. Which is very good because you need 2 stacks from the off pretty much in this campaign. Build as soon as you can. As soon as you can afford it, do it. Because these are so cheap to run. So this is run by Zajar. Don't know why that name, but never mind. So this is similar. Fanatics up front to take an initial hit and just do some damage. Then I got some. Next rank is pretty much all of these. And nice. So that goes to there. So I've got forest goblins in the middle and night goblins on the side. These are for taking out high tier elite units to a point, anyway. And I got a goblin big boss who's pretty damn hard, to be honest. He's really hard. He's very fast. I think I put him on the mountain now, haven't I? Yeah, he's level 24, and he's level 9. And then we got orc. The hero units go up very quickly with Skarsnik. And we got orc shaman. He's only just come in. He's only level 4, so not got the good spells yet, but he's getting there. Then of course my backbone, Goblin Wolf Riders. You have these things. They don't hit ridiculously hard, but they're very good and they're just so quick. And these are really quick, 112. I think he's got some campaign buffs for this one, this particular army. And finally, 2 Goblin Walk Goblins, because you can't go without an army without some Goblin Walk Goblins. And that's I think they're both full stacks, aren't they? You know? Yes, they are. And I'm on turn 59. Whether I'm going to continue this campaign, I'm not sure, to be honest. It's good, it is challenging, definitely. And I kind of really want to get rid of the Empire. Because they're just bugging me now. So I might actually start complete this campaign. As you can see, there's tons of buffs on my units at the moment. For various things. Like, the other two's got nothing on us, we're the best. That's the pop-up menus that appear. So there's that as well. So the various options you can choose. Like, I've got a nice bit of keep just to help me run my armies a bit quicker, because trade is just not a thing. You just have to. Raiding is such a thing in this game, in this version. So if I moved that into here, I would get a lot of raiding potential. And I did have a warg at one point when I was down here. Skarsnik created a warg that died reasonably quickly, but did some damage, so it's quite good. So there you go, and that is where I am at with my Greenskin, my Greenskin campaign. So at that point, I can say thanks for watching. I hope you found this video helpful, and I hope you try it out yourself.